Shalom, 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 everybody. This is the man formerly known as Ivan, the Trinity of Water, now known as M, with another preparation for a purpose television show. My energy levels are not quite as high as you can probably tell. As you also can probably tell, I'm wearing this pretty black and orange baby right here. I am freshly back. Remember, November 4th was the show. I haven't seen you guys in a few days. So my apologies for that, but I told you I'm going to make it a consistent effort to continue to show up and show out for you guys. And also, I didn't even post my last video. I need to really get to that. You know what? It was ego. Ego is why I didn't post my last video. I had a belt on, right? And anyone who works out in bodybuilds, they know when you put on a belt, if you have absolutely any, when I say any fat to pinch, the tighter you put it on, the more it's going to show. And even if you can have a six pack and you squeeze it as tight as you possibly can, it's going to make it look like you have a little bit of a gut. That was kind of what I had going on, not to just explain myself, but I'm just being honest. That's why I did not post that video. So I'm going to post that. I'm going to post that as well. So moving forward, it's no topic. This is just an update video, just to update you guys on how the show went. It started off really hectic, you guys. I was going to catch a plane because my car started acting a little funny. I have a newer vehicle, but it just, and it's only from here. I stay in Michigan, and from Michigan to Ohio, it's only I was going to Cincinnati. It was like a 3-hour, 40-minute trip, right? So I said, well, a plane couldn't be too expensive. It was kind of last minute. I'm not too computer savvy. I called my little cousin up. She said she can get me together. So, long story short, she told me it would be like $540, guys, to fly just from Michigan to Ohio. I was not doing that, not the kid. So I said the next plan was a Greyhound. I've never been on a Greyhound. So she came with that price. I mean, a 90% difference, $50. That sounds more like it. $50, let's dance. I can do $50 all day long, every day, twice on Sunday. So I'm like, okay, I can do that. I'm almost amazed. 50 there, 50 back. I'm sorry, actually it was 111. So, virtually $50. You know what I mean? So it was 111 bucks. 111. I'm thinking, oh, that's a sign. That's a good omen. Let's get it. So, anybody, I'm into that. So I get to the Greyhound station, you guys. I'm not saying all Greyhound stations are like that, but I'm just saying, and you cannot judge something by one experience, but if I only have one experience to judge it by, this is why I say a first impression is a very important impression, because if I only have one thing to judge, that's what I'm going to judge. I did not see this. So, let me keep talking as I kind of straighten up a little bit, because I'm about to get off in a second. So, I get there, man, it's crackheads. I can't think of a better name. If I offend anybody who's on crack, my apologies. I don't knock y'all, though. I understand how it is on any type of substance. I'm not saying that I've ever been on any. I haven't, but I'm just saying people can be addicted to gambling, addicted to a lot of things. We all have our demons. But anyway, so crackheads laying on the ground, man. Winos on the wall, drinking. There's it was just a very ghetto scene, and I'm not saying ghetto in a judgmental way, but come on, ghetto is not a color, ghetto is not a race or creed. Ghetto is just freaking ghetto. It was ghetto, man. So I go and it's nobody behind to help. It's nobody in the office or where they behind the glass. It's nowhere. And this glass is about 6 feet. Not one person behind there. And it's freaking like 9 o'clock at night at a Greyhound. No one working there. So I'm like, okay, I've never been on it before. So if anyone, works for Greyhound, you might want to mention this. You might want somebody there to help people because it's a great chance it's going to be people that's never been on your bus before. So I keep forgetting as I tell people this story. The main part that I forget to mention is I was supposed to leave Thursday at 7 o'clock. I was supposed to leave Thursday at 7. My bus left at 7 p.m. My little cousin texted me, "Oh, Ivan, I'm sorry. They rescheduled it for 10 p.m." I said, "I planned for this. That's why I was leaving a day early. No worries, right?" So I asked the guard. I find the guard. I asked the guard. I said he was out there talking to some of the people. I asked him. I said, "Big fella." I said, "Yeah, pardon me for a minute. How does this work? There's no one behind the glass. Like, what do I do from here? Where do I go from here?" He said, "Well, what bus are you catching?" I said, "Well, I'm catching." Oh, he said, "Let me see your ticket." I said, "Well, I don't have a ticket." I said, "It's actually on my phone." He said, "Well, your phone is your ticket." Okay, one thing learned. At least I got one. If I ever have to do it again, which I highly doubt, it's one lesson learned though. You never say never. So, but this is as close as I'm saying never to not saying never. But anyway. So, let me stop being silly. So, he tells me, he said, what bus are you looking for? I said, the 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. to Ohio. Oh, he said, "Man, there is no 10 p.m. to Ohio." I said, "There has to be a 10 p.m. to Ohio because I paid my money for 10 p.m. to Ohio." And I said, "Originally it's 7. He said, "Oh, the 7 p.m. that was rescheduled. Bad news." I said, "Brother, now I'm not even going to worry you guys with all the other bad news that happened beforehand. Bad news." I said, "Brother, I can't take any more bad news." I said, I'm thinking he's joking. He said, "Bad news is not coming." So I laughed. I said, "Bro, please tell me you joking." He said, "Bro, I wouldn't play with you like that, man. It's not coming." I said, "Brother, I know you can't control it or anything. You have no control over this." But I'm like, man, I have a very important competition. I've been training for it. I lost all this weight for it. I've been training months for it, brother. And I paid all this money, supplements, and just, the show, just all this different money to do this show. I said, "Bro, can you please be 100% sure that this bus is not coming?" He said, "Brother, I'm 99.99999." Said, "That's good enough for me." I go, grab my bag, I hurry up, I call my friend who had dropped me off. I told him I had them drop me off in my own car. Luckily I did. Luckily they weren't too far. I dropped them off. I headed straight. After working, I hadn't taken one break off work. I had just got off work. I had to hurry up, get everything I can get after work. And I was still pressed for time. That's why I was kind of glad it got rescheduled to 10. But yeah, so we're looking at like 9:30ish. They get back. I head straight for Ohio. Car was a little, I need some rotors, so it was a little shaky. That's what I meant. It's a relatively newer car vehicle, but I need some rotors. So I get there. Luckily, it was not much traffic. I get to the room, no one's there. I get to the hotel, no one's there to answer the hotel door. I'm like, oh God, not more. So after 30 minutes, I figure out how to get inside the hotel. They screwed up my reservations. Now, luckily, that was at that point, until after the show. That was the last bit of per se bad. I don't think of good and bad, just lessons and blessings. But so that was the last lesson I guess I had to learn. So I get to the show. I'm kind of geek. I'm ready to work out. The guy, he was like, don't work out now. Work out the day of the show. Don't exert yourself too much. Now this is Friday. I'm sorry, I gotta catch you up. This is Friday. This is Friday. He was like, don't do too much now. He was like, just kind of relax. So if I get a 10, which is still on me. I just literally got back. You can't even really see it because I'm already dark skinned. People told me, they're like, you're already dark skinned. You really don't need a bronzing. You're not really going to be able to tell. but they've never done a show before. So I said, you know what? I'm going to listen to the people who do it. I got it. Honestly, to me, it was not saying that the person who did it didn't do a good job, but I'm just saying I know there's no difference. It was a waste of $200 to me. So I get brine stuff or whatever. They tell me this is one coat. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe this is why I really don't see it. It just looked like little makeup to me, but, excuse me, manly makeup though, manly makeup. So I said, maybe, just maybe, once they put the gloss in, because I watched all the videos and I've seen even dark skinned man, melanated man, they're still glossy and shiny. And you can do baby oil. Baby oil makes your muscles pop. So I'm like, okay, it's $200. A bottle of baby oil is like $4. So I'm like, shoot, I'm paying $196 more. Hey, this should pop. Listen, not only did I have to wake up at 5:30 in the morning to get this second coat done, my show wasn't until 12 p.m. I could have rested until like 7, 8 p.m. a.m. I'm sorry, the show was not to 12 p.m. I could have rested to like 7:30, 8 a.m. and then got up. That's kind of how my body works. You want your veins to show when it's the most vascular. So after about an hour and a half of working out and being pumped, that's when my veins are the most vascular. I had all my, vasodilators and builder and all that good old stuff, ruby salt and peanut butter. But anyway, so I had to wake up at 4 instead. To make it there, my hotel, I couldn't make it to the regular hotel. The hotel, oh my God, you guys, I forgot to also, it was a lie detector. What am I doing? It was so much, y'all. It's just coming to me as I'm talking to y'all. So you have to take a polygraph test in the OCB because it's a natural bodybuilding. So not only do you have to, a lot of people say, well, why can't you just take a urine sample? You have to do that as well if you're one of the winners. If you place top 3. However, you guys, you still have to take a polygraph test because it takes a time for those results to come back. I take nothing. I don't take any steroids, never have taken steroids. It's not a knock against anybody who has ever had steroids because I haven't even thought about when I was like 38, like, wow, in my heyday, if I would have taken anything like an anabolic, how much stronger I bench 600 pounds almost just naturally. How much stronger could I have been if I may have? So I don't knock anybody who just went and had the balls to, excuse my language, but to just do it. So I'm not knocking you, but I'm just saying I never did it. So as I'm taking a polygraph test, it wasn't just about anabolic steroids. It was about character aspects. So I didn't tell any lies on it, right? And my phone is ringing. I'm telling you guys the time I had. So, whenever you tell somebody, this is why there's no need. If you're making videos that's different, you want your audience to stay, up to date on what's going on. But if it's not anything like that, no one cares. Because they got their own things going on and it's going to go in one ear right out the other. And or they're probably glad you're going through it, or they just don't care. So one of the two most of the time. So I'm like, okay, bro, I just kind of been through a lot, man. That's probably, my phone, somebody kept calling, they needed to borrow something, and it seemed like everybody was kind of calling to see how the show was going at the same time. Now they're not against them. They didn't know, but it's just like my phone ringing. I've never taken a polygraph before, so I'm nervous at the same time. So I failed it, man. I failed it. So in my mind, he's like, okay, I gave it to you twice, you failed both times. I'm like, oh my God. I said, so in my mind, I said, and I told him, I said, polygraph is subjective. I think I studied it. I said, it's subjective. I've heard people say I lie and it came out true. I've told the truth and it came out a lie. He says, oh, brother, of course he's going to defend what he does for a living. And he said, certain questions, he was like, is it anything you may have taken to make it kind of thing? I said, no. I said, what, a protein drink? I'm like, no, nothing. So I was like, I will take a drug test right now, no problem. I said, so if I take it, I said, because honestly, and then this is another thing, OCB, you really need to look at this, and I will mention this. If a person does happen to fail the lie detector for whatever reason, and they take a urine sample, and that urine sample does prove they had nothing in them, they should get their money back. They should get their money back. You should not be able to keep their money, because that's all I'm thinking. Like, all the money, I know you can't get back all the money and time they invested. You can never get back time. They don't print time, but and they don't print effort. So, but all the money that's put into it, gas, whether it's a flight, gas, or a bus, train, plane, video game, however the heck you get there, I mean, but at least, I understand you can't refund that, but at least refund the money that they paid for their shows. And I paid, not only did I pay the late fees, I paid almost $300. So in my mind, I'm like, I've spent almost $2,000 on this hotel and all this stuff. I'm like, listen, I'm like, I'm not the type to act a fool, but I understand you doing your job, but I'm just going to be pissed. So I said, let me go out. I'm just not gonna have my cell phones on me. I'm gonna sit them down. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna woosah a little bit. I didn't actually get a chance to do that because it was in the hotel. It was being done in the hotel room, the guest hotel room, and people were coming. And you know, I'm the type of guy. You can read my energy, and it's kind of a friendly energy, so people feel comfortable talking to me, no problem. So I'm just talking to people. I'm telling them, like what to expect and everything, and but luckily I went back in, and of course, as you can see, I passed, just like I told them. I didn't have my phones and everything. I was like, brother, it was probably just because I've had a long week, bro, and which was getting longer by this happening. So, because you had to pay for the polygraph, that was another $60, mind you. So just money. I get back that was on Friday. The show, like I said, was Saturday on the 4th. I get back to the hotel. Let's catch you back up to where I was at, where I had to wake up at 4 in the morning to get my second coat. I'm still looking to me the same. And not only am I kind of looking the same, now I'm getting a chance to see some of the competitors and their physiques, and I'm getting a little intimidated. I'm used to being a big fish in a small pond. I'm used to being the guy at the gym where people like, oh man, look at him, like, man, he's got ripped, and people asking me questions, and I'm just, I'm not saying that I just got it like that, but I mean, it's not too many that really had the skill and the size with the cut that I had in my gyms that I go to. So looking at these guys, I mean, they were a lot smaller because I was doing man's physique. And anyone who knows man's physique, they're looking for what it says, like the V taper, which I had. I was very V tapered, wide shoulders. My shoulders are very wide. So I decided to do it, even though I knew I would probably do better at classic or just, bodybuilding. I didn't want to wear them tight drawers. I'm just being honest with y'all. I told them at that event I had them rolling. I just didn't want to. I said I want to start off with the shorts in the audience, and I'll work my way up. I may have said that on another video already, but I knew I had more of a body design for a classic physique or just pure bodybuilding. So I'm like, okay. I get my second coat. I paid $200 for. I said, all right. In the heat of the moment, it was pictures. And it's like nobody in my family really cares. Like they they were supportive enough. But I'm just saying, they didn't care enough to really want to see pictures. You know what I mean? If it was like 30 minutes out, a few of them probably would have went. But it's just they didn't care enough. It's like by the time the pictures even get here, the moment would have been over. So the pictures for backstage was 100. For on stage was 80. So together it was it was 180. I'm like, just give me the 80 for my memories, I guess. So I figured that wasn't the way. So at least I have it for my memories. Long story short, you guys, I did better than I thought I was gonna do my first time out. I'm being honest about that. When I looked at a tutorial and they give you a tutorial as you're signing up on the site, right? So if you're ever thinking about doing this, or you are in the process of doing a bodybuilding contest and you're doing, no matter which one you choose, men's physique, classic physique, whatever. Listen. Don't just pay attention to the tutorials, because I'm going to tell you what it's going to do. It's either going to get your head, it's either going to get your confidence too high or too low. Let me explain what I mean. At first, I believe it was, I forgot what state it was, but they didn't look, I believe it may have been Colorado. Not a knock on Colorado, I might even be wrong. So I'm just saying, but they didn't look like much to me. To me, it was like they looked good, don't get me wrong, much better than your average Joe. But I'm just saying, I was like, oh yeah, I'm good. I take first place. I start eating a little more. My hunger, not my physical hunger, like food hunger, but my hunger for winning went down a little bit. I became a little more lackadaisical, rather than, even if it was that type of competition, say, well, I'm going to come in extra, even more prepared. Never, ever just say, okay, I'm good enough. No, keep going. Go even harder. You never, like Kobe, what's your mama mentality, Jordan, just go. So anyway, I can't believe this video going on this long, but I want to fill y'all in on this. It was very funny. So I actually got to end this in a little bit because my relief is pulling up. But so let me say this. So that kind of threw me. I'm sorry, the lights threw me off. So, okay, anyway, but then, then you would look and your hunger would kind of go away, or you would look and then you might be looking at like some very nationals, like professionals, and you're like, that's been 24 years on the biggest stage, and then your confidence might go down, like, look, I can't compete with that. No, if you want to do this, I'm 40, right? I'm 40 years old. I talked to people who said some started when they was 42, they're still winning titles. So they're like 46, 47 now. And in my mind, I said that. I'm like, I'm just going to take it inch by inch and keep bettering my body. Don't compare yourself with the Joneses, as hard as it is to do. Just enjoy yourself. Like I said, you might be the biggest fish in a small pond for a long time. But yeah, just enjoy yourself. But yeah, so the tutorial is good to look at for posing, good to look at to know somewhat what to expect as far as routines and things of that sort, but it was really nothing like the tutorial showed, to be honest. So I guess each state and things like that are different. But yeah, when I got there, I was a little intimidated. But I didn't expect to walk away. I got to show you guys the trophy as well. Maybe I'll post a picture. I'll post a picture of the trophy. But yeah, I wasn't expecting to come away with any hardware. I wasn't expecting to come in third place. I was really, really humbled and happy at the same time. Happy that I finished better than what I thought when I got there. Now originally I thought I might even take first, but when I got there, I'm like, I probably won't place, but at least I get experience. So I wasn't really expecting to, get anything. So that makes it better too. You know what I mean? Where it's like I did train hard, but I'm just like, okay, now I did about my best. I got a little lackadaisical when fell off a little bit from the tutorial, but for the most part, I put a lot of work into this, and I'm gonna live with the results. But yeah, so I was satisfied with third, and then you come back. So the plan now, y'all. It's like I'm gonna end it with this. So I guess it is a message for this video. Not only the plan was always, oh my God, y'all. Another thing happened. Now y'all see I can be a little aloof sometimes. Sometimes I can be talking like a scientist, a preacher, and then sometimes I can be a little aloof. I was so ready to get back home. I grabbed my weight. I had my bag. I carry this bag everywhere. It has, even when I'm not doing a show, I make sure everything is in it's a book bag that I carry, because I work so much, I'm gonna go so much. Everything is in there. I have psoriasis. If anyone, who knows about that, oh my Lord. So I have my psoriasis medicine there. It's a very important bag. I'm walking out so fast. I got the medal, got the trophy. Everybody, congratulations, congratulations. I got my weight in one hand. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I grabbed my drink that I had, everything but my bag. I hop on. I didn't realize until I made it back home I didn't have my bag. So I knew though it had to be a lesson in there. I was like, God, when people say, does God have a sense of humor? Some of the guys have a sense of humor. Yes, I knew it was. And that's what one of them told me. They were like, yeah, I would love to see you in, not take away anything. You looked awesome. You did awesome. But I would love to see you in like a classic physique or, a bodybuilding or something like that. And I'm like, I already knew it. You know what I mean? And I knew what they were trying to say, just being nice, giving me the little, they didn't want to scare me. They don't know, like, look, I can take it. I'm a big boy. So, just come on with it. But, just put that Band-Aid off. You don't have to sugarcoat it for me. But, because I already knew, how I'm kind of built. So, it showed me, like, the message of this video. Because like I said, first it wasn't going to be a message. That's how God works too. Now it is. Never stop setting goals, because what happens when you stop, you tend to drift. I trained for a bodybuilding show before. And when I didn't, I said, you know what, before it was time to put the money down, that's another thing, put that money down. I backed out, but I stopped training. Even if I would have back started, just kept training. But I stopped because I didn't have a set time and a goal. That's why it's so important, no matter what your profession is, to have a goal in place so you will not drift. A lot of times people tell you the importance of goals, but I don't hear a lot of times they tell, and it's more than just not drifting, but that's the most important part. So your mind does not drift and just be everywhere. You have a destination where the boat is just not, what's your destination? Where you gonna dock? I just enjoying the waves. You know what I mean? Like just day to day. When your boss calls, the boss of the boat calls, say you gotta come here. Okay, then I'm gonna come here because I had that direction. Oh, well, this person called, I gotta come here. Okay, I had that direction. Giving yourself a direction to go. So it's very, very important. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up with that, y'all. It was a blast. When I tell you it was a definite blast, though, the good, the bad, all of it together, like I say, really just lessons and blessings. But that is the message because I'm going to end, my relief is here. But that's the message, you guys. Always have a goal in place so you do not drift. Like I said, like a boat, that's what happens. If a boat does not have a place to dock, it's going to just, where is it going to go? If it doesn't have, because your goal is like it's your home. It doesn't have to be your permanent home. The home you stay in, do you have to stay there? No. You do what? You know what? I want this house. So you set a goal. I want to get this house. Once you get the house, you just don't stop there and say, I could never get a bigger and better house. No. You say, okay, now that I got this house, I'm going to fix it up. I'm going to take care of it. And then once I'm ready, but I'll be striving, and I'm going to be striving to get a better and bigger house. So just remember that. Always set goals. Always have a place to dock your boat so your boat isn't drifting into other things, especially other negative things. That's what happens. Because if you don't have that goal set, the negative aspects, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And I'm telling y'all, which part gonna show up, the part you feed the most. That's the part that's gonna be the biggest and the baddest. So whatever you do the most, whatever crowd you're around the most, whatever you speak the most, whatever you do the most, that's going to be you. I'm gonna end with that, and as I end every show, love.